welcome to Nintendo Ninja News Show. This is a bit of a new concept, an idea that we're trying to do. We've rearranged a little bit on the desk, and you normally used to see my face a lot bigger. And I guess what I can explain what Nintendo Ninja News Show is about. It's a mix of news, opinions, and discussions, and showing off a bit of gameplay in between. But you'll understand the concept when you finish the entire show. So don't just watch the first 2 or 3 minutes and click off, because you won't get the concept or idea. And it's nice to kind of be in an environment where I'm not, speed talking right through 2 minutes of news. It's nice to actually sit back and relax and talk about games and opinions and that. And hopefully we can get people to come on the show or show clips of Google Hangouts and things like that with other great people that we know online. And I think that could be a really great idea for the future of Nintendo Ninja News Show. So, as you know, in the latest, but I guess our first segment, is the latest news. And in the latest news, our first Mario Galaxy game is coming out on the Wii U eShop this week. It's been revealed by Nintendo Twitter of Europe that it is coming out this week, and it will be on sale for $26 for Australian dollars. For those in other countries, do check on the eShop to see what exact price that may be. We don't know if there will be any special offers or discounts. I imagine it won't, because it's probably is the most popular game on the Wii console, apart from Mario Kart Wii and Wii Sports. Throughout the news, the Splatfest results came in, and I'm not very happy because it was Barbarians versus the Ninjas. And everyone chose Ninjas, but it was the Barbarians that did win out quite handsomely. I don't have the exact results, but I think we lost by 50 points, and I think it was 77 people chose Ninjas, and like 23% chose Barbarians. And that small portion did very, very well against the many, many Ninjas that fought bravely in that Splatfest, which is a bit of a shame. But I'm guessing the big release for the end of the month is the Pokemon 2DS bundle sets. For the 2DS, they're all coming out, all three of them, red, blue, and yellow. And for those in Japan, red, yellow, green, and blue, all coming out on February the 27th. So it's only 26 days, and I'm counting down the days. And it's going to be a pretty exciting time, I think. And I'm pretty happy to see just going through the original Pokemon games. And I guess I'm a fairly big fanboy of the original series, and I guess it's because it was the first handheld games that was the prime reason why I got into the Game Boy. Because I used to own, it was back in 97, 98, and I had a Super Nintendo, and I had previously played the Sega Master System and the Atari 2600. So I used to get consoles that were about 5 or 10 years old handed to me. And I was never interested in portable handhelds. I thought, I don't go out that much. I stay in front of the TV and watch it. But when the Pokemon craze turned up and everyone bought it, so a little bit of peer pressure to buy it. And I bought it, and I loved it. And it was Pokemon Yellow with the Game Boy Color. And that was like a teal green sort of lime color. But if you know the exact model that I'm talking about, do tell me on that part. And to sort of wrap it up for now, what I would like to say is a big thanks to the viewers and who have been watching us for the past 7-8 months. We've received over 12,000 views, which has been absolutely amazing. And the staff my little ninja helpers, you could say, who has been giving me great advice and ideas and what I can do. And it's been a really interesting ride, I suppose. I never thought that I would have this sort of success in terms of um, in terms of really just getting a lot of views and subscribers and people interested in the idea. And we started off doing an audio podcast for a month or two, and we decided to go to YouTube. And since then, it's been fantastic, especially the last couple months where I thought things would have been pretty lean, but I think this year is going to be fantastic. Possibly a new console coming out towards the end of this year, the NX. You have obviously the Pokemon 2DS unboxing that I'll be doing. You have new Pokemon games. You have the Legend of Zelda Wii U's coming out, E3. So a lot of really exciting events are coming up, and we've basically been having we haven't had really any big events happen from Nintendo during the lifetime of our show, probably because of Iwata's death. We probably would have had more Nintendo Directs if he was around. So who knows what will happen with the Nintendo Directs. So that's always a difficult thing, I guess. And I guess that's pretty much it for now. But coming up, we do have a little bit of Mario Kart 64. I recorded a little bit of it and snippeted out a course that was pretty cool to play. Just watch the whole track. And I shall see you after Mario Kart 64. Stay tuned after that. Moving a cart around, so it can spin out easily if you move left and right to take sharp corners. Here's Move Farm. Oh, entertaining being behind. Oh, yeah. Just another item, too. Oh no! Why did I turn out so badly? No! Oh no! Oh! You gotta be kidding me. That is a pretty funny win, isn't it? I did not expect that to happen. Wow, there you go. I thought I was a goner then. Look at that. 0.3 of a second, pretty much. We're halfway. Welcome back to the Nintendo Ninja News Show, Episode 1. And I have quite a few consoles here. So, you might be wondering why I've got all these consoles here. And I've been buying up more handhelds recently. And as you can tell, I own nearly 20 handhelds, which is too many for anyone. And I've been going through the different handhelds. And sort of the feel of it when you're playing them. And because there's, 4 or 5 different versions of the 3DS, I guess including the 2DS, I've been sort of playing different games to sort of get the vibe of what different type of games feel like on different consoles. And I remembered, I had the original 3DS here, which is a very nice gloss sort of feel. It's a very glossy feel. And I remembered going from the XL model, the new version, back to the original version. And I noticed that the issues that I had when I was playing Mario Kart, for example, and is it Mario Kart here by the chance? Yes, it is. In my new 3DS, and I'll tell you why I'm playing it on this one over the original. I think one of the issues with the original, the main positive, it's glossy, it's shiny, and it's really nice looking. The downside is actually playing it. The screen size is okay, it's fine. But when you were playing it, and if you got sort of bigger hands, it feels like that you're cramping. And you can see the way that I hold it is sort of the index fingers coming up there, and you're sort of playing it like this, and it feels really uncomfortable when you're playing it after a little while. So, and because these buttons are very sort of glossy, and if you've got sticky fingers or sweaty fingers from playing for a little while, it keeps on slipping and gliding, and it doesn't feel that great. The D-pad feels great, and the stick is fantastic. But I think the big problem is the shoulder pads. The shoulder pads are very, very thin. You're going to get an indent mark in your fingers, and it doesn't feel right. It feels like you're going to hurt yourself trying to use it, and it feels you've got to press in hard to use these, and it just doesn't feel right using the original 3DS anymore. And I always feel like they're prototypes, the first version of the handhelds that they released, because this feels a little bulky. It feels a bit thick there, and you look at the original DS, and this thing was an ugly thing. Like it's like a loved ugly thing, like an ugly child that you love. But I think the reason why this was released the way that it was I'm not too sure the story is true, but Nintendo was worried that the PSP, the PlayStation Portable, was going to be released early, and with the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2, they were worried that the PSP would, start to eat into the handheld territory, and that was the last thing that was standing for them after the N64 and the GameCube. So that they decided to rush out the DS original. And it still did well. It sold 150 million units compared to, I believe, the 70, 80 million of the PSP, which was still both great numbers. But probably they didn't need to worry too much about the success of the DS and the two dual screens. And as you can tell, they released the Lite, which is probably still the very slickest and loveliest handheld you ever see. It just looks beautiful. It just looks amazing, doesn't it? And it's really, really cool. And of course, from the original with the funny buttons and things like that, that I posted, I went up to the XL. I went to the normal XL. This is the new XL. And what I like about it is the shoulder pads. They feel much nicer and better. The screen is bigger for people who have eyesight issues, which is great. And it feels good. You're not sort of doing this as I showed with the original 3DS model, and it just feels like it fits in the palms of your hands. And that is something that's difficult with controllers for gaming or anything, is that you've got to make a controller that sort of fits in well with all people's hands, because everyone's hands are different. Some are smaller, some are bigger. Some people have disabilities. Some people have missing fingers. And I know that there are charity places and different places that do not so handhelds, but sort of special controllers for people who have disabilities, missing fingers, or other disabilities where they can't use their hands or something like that. And I think that's something that's fantastic, that people with disabilities should be included in playing gaming, and I think it's a great thing. So I hope you like the mug. This is pretty good. I actually bought another mug a couple of days ago, and I lost it on the way home. So whoever found a Pokemon mug somewhere in Canberra, you just won yourself a free mug from me. So lucky you. Moving on. But I got this, a few months ago. And yes, it does have Yoshi, and you can tell that I am a bit of a Yoshi fan. There you go. He's just sitting watching the camera. But this feels really good too. The shoulder pads, the extra buttons there. I love the coloured thing, the faceplates. It's all good. I was a little bit worried that the screen size would be a bit too small. And I'm not too worried about that. I don't have the 2DS on me at the moment, but the 2DS has the best shoulder pads ever, and it's fantastic for platform games. It's really good for those type of games, and I'd say Mario Kart will work well too. I say the larger model is good for Monster Hunter, because you need to see more details on the screen. It's got menus and maps and things like that, so role-play games, it might be better for that. This is still good for things like Animal Crossing and other games that doesn't rely on seeing different monsters and pieces all the time. The more simplistic the game, I think that lower you can go to the normal 3DS than the 2DS. Things that are a bit more intense in menus and things that you need to see on a screen at the same time, or if you don't have the best of eyesight, the XL is a great model. It's fantastic. The original 3DS, I wouldn't really recommend it anymore. It's fairly old, and I would just keep it as part of the old collection, you know, a nice little console to look back and muck around with from time to time. So that's it for now. But we do have coming up next a Super Mario Maker level coming up. It has cats in it. Yeah, it's a cat level, and I like cats. So we'll have a look at that right now. I'll see you after that level.
Oh yeah, Mario time!
Welcome back to the Nintendo Ninja Show. That was Natalie's level that we were playing, which was fantastic. For Super Mario Maker, you can see all the details in that video if you want to try out her cat video. And there are a couple other videos she's done, and plenty of other fantastic levels, courses. There's probably a couple million been made by now, which is fantastic. So do have a look at that and enjoy it. So we've come to a Q&A time where we've only got the one question so far because it is the first episode and we're trying to get through the show a little quickly, not take up too much time. But we had a question from Chris Newman that says, what is the best feature use of the Wii U gamepad that I have seen? And of course, this is the big, bulky Wii U gamepad. And it feels good in the hands. It's quite light. It does the job. It's fantastic. So I think the best feature use, I would have to say, would probably be ZombiU. I really like the idea of an old school sort of survival game where you're looking at the TV screen, looking straight to the camera, pretending that's the TV screen, and then you're looking down, and on the gamepad screen is your bag. You get your gun, your cricket bat, all different items, and it's almost like in real life where you're looking down away from zombies and enemies, and you're trying to pick out things in the bag and trying to get weapons out and that. So I think that was really added to the atmosphere, and I think it really was a great sort of use of the gamepad. I'd say the runners-up ones would be Super Mario Maker, which was really, really good. Obviously, creating your levels, which was great. And I'd say Splatoon was a pretty good one. You know, the ergonomics sort of moving around. I think that really felt really great on the gamepad. Where I think with the Pro Controller, you couldn't really do it. And I like seeing the map down there and seeing what places are splattered and moving across as a squid. So I think that was another nice use of the gamepad. I don't think it was, you know, a system sell in terms of that, but the game itself, Splatoon, is absolutely fantastic. Probably the best new IP that Nintendo's done in 10 years. So coming up next, our last gameplay footage, which is probably our main one, is from, I believe, NATO Assault Neo, which was one of the launch games that kept me happy with the drought of Wii U games when it first came out at the end of 2012. It's by Shingo Multimedia, and they are known for releasing the latest game they had, which Fast Neo Racing, which is sort of like a reminiscent of F-Zero. They are fantastic company. They remind me of Rare when it comes to graphics. They do absolute sort of witchcraft work to Nintendo consoles, and they bring out graphics which are unbelievable for the Wii U. Check out this game, check out the other game I mentioned, and let's roll the tape on this game.
VR. Purification.
Well, I believe this is the end of the show now, and it's been probably close to about on my visible watch, nearly half an hour. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I hope you sort of understand a little bit about the concept, a bit of use, a bit of opinion, a bit of Q&A or different segments. We might interview someone, we might talk to somebody about things in life and video games and what they're doing, and just mucking around and doing different things and that. First episodes are always a little bit difficult to do because you're not quite sure how it's going to happen and things like that. Is he actually going to get on the... I'll just say this. It took me quite a while to get this thing to stand up. Actually, this stand has actually turned out to be very helpful. So, I'll get Yoshi to stay up. There he is. He's staying up greatly now. And I hope... I didn't really work out this thing right with the whole headphone thing, did I? So, that's it from the show. I hope you've enjoyed yourself, and let's see if we can work on an episode 2. But also to comment, like, and share this video. Check out the other 120 videos that we've done for Nintendo Ninja News, and of course we will be back with our quick news bulletin type style videos on the latest news on Nintendo, and check out our Facebook group page and our Twitter account too, if you like, to get the latest news from us from the YouTube page. So that's it from me, and I'll see you later on.